In this video, you'll see for yourself how to get your TikTok ad results to go from this to more like this by following a simple to execute 5-part formula and breaking one common rule that most gurus out there are spreading that actually holds most TikTok ads back.
There's this misconception out there, but it's total garbage.
This is Matt Johnston, and he knows what works with TikTok ads. He's produced and overseen over 2,000 video ads that have generated well over 10 billion video views and millions of dollars in sales. According to Matt and his data, he's cracked the TikTok ad code with this exact strategy. And that's not fluff. He literally 10x'd his click-through rates, going from 0.5% all the way up to 5%, and an overall 5 times return on ad spend as a direct result of this strategy. And in under 15 minutes, you'll have all the pieces in place to be able to replicate his results for yourself. So Matt, why get in on TikTok ads right now? Why not stick with Facebook ads or Instagram or YouTube?
Facebook ads definitely still work, but they're getting tougher and they're really expensive. The data is obviously awful because of iOS 14 and then the aftermath, but also people are just sort of vacating the platform. Google ads have always been expensive, and YouTube ads are getting quite expensive. So it's cheaper and more effective when you get in on it earlier, right? Because TikTok will eventually be there as well. But that makes this moment, and probably for the next 18 months or so, the moment to get there. And it's sort of like a land grab at this time, but it's a profitable land grab.
And because I know some of you are thinking it, no, TikTok is not just a way to advertise to teenagers and people who still know who the musical guest on SNL is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Megan Thee Stallion.
What? The point is, TikTok's users are aging up.
It might have been true if people were like, it's just the kids, but that's crap now. Everybody is on it. I just got off a sales call that I booked through TikTok ads, and this guy was 50 years old and ready to rock and roll. Most of the people that I have closed from TikTok have been over the age of 40.
And that's not just Matt's experience. The data backs him up here. So 53% of TikTok's users are over 30, and that's just gonna continue maturing over time. So how can we get results like you get from ads on TikTok? Like, what's your secret?
I think that there's this misconception out there that the best ad creative should be native to the platform. You know, that's some sort of like general rule, but it's total garbage. In fact, it needs to be the opposite. If you want to make a YouTube ad that has the best chance of converting, you probably should shoot it like a selfie video, because the rest of the content is extremely well shot with great depth of field and amazing cameras, because that's what everybody's doing on YouTube. So you get the opportunity to pattern interrupt, which is the most important thing.
You're gonna hear that term a lot in the rest of this video, so let's just define it real quick. So pattern interrupts are a scientific concept that come from neuro-linguistic programming, and it just involves switching up a repetitive pattern to basically snap someone out of the daze they're in. Since most people consume social media completely zoned out, you need to shake them awake, so to speak, because
it doesn't matter what you say in your ad. If you don't pattern interrupt, nobody will ever see it. So on TikTok, everybody came in that was trying out TikTok ads at the beginning, and we're still at the beginning, saying that you got to make TikToks. You know, the best thing is native. So selfie type videos that look like UGC, for lack of a better term, and that's how you did TikTok ads. But man, that does not work. I mean, it may work for some, but in my testing, when I was first trying that, regular TikToks that simply had direct response bent, edited in TikToks, shot like TikToks, I was getting, like 0.5, 0.6% click-through rates, and I could not break through. As soon as I started using this scripting methodology and some of the production stuff around it, I'm looking at 5% click-through rates. And I feel so confident in it. Like, I feel like I've totally cracked it at this point.
So how do you recommend shooting these ads if not like standard organic TikToks?
High production values. Not like you'll spend a bunch of money. I'm saying use a good camera and have like the YouTube aesthetic. You got to think like a YouTuber. Like, get a nice camera or figure out how to shoot with cinematic mode, and like make it look good. Do stuff like depth of field, lighting, and stuff like that. So it's clearly like like a normal TikTok. It sticks out in the feed.
Now, to be clear here, Matt isn't saying make it look like an ad either. Making something that looks like this or this is probably the worst thing you could do. So he's only saying that you need to bump up the quality just enough so it stands out as people are scrolling. Now, before we get to your 5-part TikTok ads formula, what else can people do to help their ad interrupt the pattern and stand out? Like, what are your ninja tricks?
Like a couple of rules of the road: make a cut every 2 seconds and switch the shot every 2 seconds. So like I shoot in 4K and you literally just see me moving around. Like you're playing up to the most ADD viewer you can. The other thing that I do, and this is just like from analyzing viral TikTokers and seeing what they did, I add what I call personality hits in it, which basically means every 10 to 12 seconds, I'll like cut really fast to like some crazy sound effect and piece of B-roll, and it's like 1 second long, but it breaks it up and it pattern interrupts. So it's not just this person talking to camera all the time. It's very important that you edit them in this specific way that is just constantly pattern interrupting. Like, never stop watching this video because there's always something new to look at, right? You can't take your eyes off of it. Another hack is I screw with audio. Like my most successful ad ever, I whisper at the beginning. Because remember, they autoplay in the feed and nobody's whispering. So when you get to my ad, it said, "Did you know there's a high demand skill?" And I'm saying it right into the mic and everybody stops. And of course I get a lot of comments on it, but it works, you know, like it hooks people in because it's inherently different from everything else they're just thumb scrolling through.
Awesome. So what's the formula that you've been using look like?
So essentially the script formula is the 5 T's. So tease a secret, tell a story, turning point, teach, and transition. So TikTok will even tell you that shorter ads perform better. I have not found this to be true. I have found that longer ads are better, and I always make my ads a minimum because that's the max that you can do right now. But I go through the whole thing. So at the beginning, tease a secret. I've always held that TikTok and YouTube are actually like super similar in weird ways because both of their algorithms prioritize watch time and video completions. And the same thing goes with ads. You tease a secret to get somebody in the door so that they're going to watch the whole thing. You're not trying to like disqualify people or anything. It's just like, did you know that there's a secret way to do XYZ? In fact, if you're trying to get your first TikTok ad off the ground, I would just say exactly that. Like I would pick your avatar. What is their dream desired result? Did you know there's a secret way to get insert desired result in X amount of time? Tell a story. So this is where you're going to sort of like tell a mini story, the empathetic pain point that your product or whatever you're selling solves. Let's just say you're trying to teach people how to grow a YouTube channel. Okay, so you're trying to grow a YouTube channel. You might say, 3 years ago, I started my YouTube channel. Nobody watched anything. Every single day I would open up YouTube Studio and I would be like, why am I putting this much work into it? Threw my phone across the room. I went to my wife and I was like, this is not worth it. I'm gonna have to give up on this. And I almost gave up. Right? So that emotional, empathetic story that everybody starting a YouTube channel feels. And then you have turning point, which is, but then I discovered, right? Insert unique mechanism of the way that you help people achieve the result. And then teach, because again, this is similar to what I would do on YouTube ads, actually, this sort of format. People on YouTube expect to be taught, and actually people on TikTok kind of expect to be taught because there's just such a pervasiveness of like listicle videos and everything on TikTok. I tend to sort of narrow down the unique solution into like 3 very quick value points. Like step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, do this. And then transition is just simply the call to action. You know, like if you want to know more about this, click below.
Let's switch gears for a second and talk about targeting. So how do you choose the right audience to show these ads to on TikTok?
Oh, this is great. Did you know that there have been some really fascinating reports lately about how TikTok is becoming like the search engine of record for Gen Z? Like, that's freaking crazy because you're talking about a future and a present, honestly, where you can essentially do intent-based advertising. This is something that Facebook chased forever and they could never do. There was a time, I don't know if you remember, but there was a time when Facebook was trying to like push search. Like they were trying to get everybody to search for things, and it was even a targeting option at one point, but it never took off. But Gen Z, which by the way, Gen Zs are not that young anymore. right? I mean, are people up to 30 searching in it too? Yeah, most likely.
What do you mean? Like they're searching for stuff within the app?
I'm talking about the way you'd use Google. Like going to TikTok and search for how to get out a red wine stain and see what you get, you know? Like really intent-based stuff. And like when I started discovering that, it blew my mind because we've always been chasing Google and YouTube for intent-based advertising forever. Because you can't do that in Facebook. It's just interruption marketing. Like get in front of me and get my thing, and we have to convince you. But what if we found a new platform to actually show an ad to somebody who's searching for exactly what you do?
And if you don't have any good intent-based audiences, should you just leave it wide open like they say you should do with Facebook ads these days?
I think my best advice with targeting is be really specific with it, like rather than broad. The algorithm is still really dumb, so you got to tell it what to do. That's very good about age. If your problem with getting into TikTok is because of the age group, I mean, you can just eliminate them. And there's plenty of fish in the sea. And yeah, it's very good about geographical area.
Now, there are actually 6 more explosive marketing opportunities for your business to take advantage of right now. So click this video right here where I'll show you your best bets to reach way more people so you can get more customers and more profit this year. So click here and then you can choose which ones you want to focus on. See you there.